I'm Myke Shrews.
And I'm Tivis.
And you're listening to
The Munster Cast,
episode 38. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I am Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend Tivis. Tivis, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing fine. And for those of you checking out the video, you may notice something a little different. Mike's dog has something to say about it, but if you do, let us know. If not, this is going to be the new norm. People listening in audio, nothing has changed.
That is right. Yeah, we're changing up some of the stuff in the video as we go along, as we find new and interesting things. Speaking of new and interesting things, well, not really a new thing, I guess, but we had an email sent to us, my man, and this one is from a gentleman named Scott, and Scott wanted to let us know some stuff that was going on right now in the world of the Munsters, props and merch and stuff like that that's happening, that we should relay to all of our fans out there, because we know a lot of our fans probably collect a lot of Munster memorabilia and stuff like that. I thought about these things, but it didn't click in my mind to even let people know this stuff. But he wanted to let you guys know that, like, there's a lot of fake props, fake, like, original props, I guess you would consider them, from the original show going around right now on, like, eBay and other sites and stuff that are saying these are the real props from this show. There can't be that many out there from the show. So definitely make sure that if you are purchasing something, because there are a lot of fakes, and there's a lot of, like, good fake stuff out there too. But people are charging full price for it, like it's a legit item. So definitely be careful when purchasing something. Do your research on the item. Make sure it's not just some empty, pill bottle or something like that they're like, oh, this is from Grandpa's lab because it's it's a glass container. When in reality, it's like a pasta container from like 2 years ago or something. So just be cautious about that. And Scott, we thank you for letting us, reminding me and letting us know this so that we can get this out there. So he said that there's like clear glass aspirin bottles with no labels that are being sold as from Grandpa's lab. So that's a really hard one too, because you could go out to like an antique shop and pick up these glass jars and stuff like that are from the same era, and then just be like, oh yeah, this is from Grandpa's lab and the Munsters, because there's a Munsters movie coming out, so merch is super high right now. So just be wary about some of that stuff. Definitely check out if you like figures and everything like that. Like I think it was Brent's Toys for Sale is what Mr. Robux suggested, because he does a lot of like custom figures and stuff like that. They're limited, so if you want any of those, definitely contact him and get a hold of some of those cool figures that are coming out, especially for the new movie as well. As far as everything else goes, the dirty work, I guess, because I totally forgot all that. You can find the Munster Cast on all social media platforms, wherever you go, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube to see our pretty ugly faces. And you can
don't forget to check out TheMunsterCast.com that Mike put a ton of work into.
Yeah. Definitely check out TheMunsterCast.com. There you can see all of our videos, including non-podcast videos, like the ones that aren't being turned into audio only or audio as well. You get all of our audio selection there as well, and then random articles and things like that we're putting out. And you can read our bios a little bit, see a little bit about us if Tivis ever gets his done.
For now, you can read what Mike wrote about me.
Yeah. And then you can also hit the mic button on the right hand side of the screen on the website and leave us a little voicemail. And there we can,
Play it
just
on the
hear
show.
from you, or we can add it to the show. And then lastly,
be sure to let us know whether you want it on the show or not.
Yeah, definitely. And you can also check out the merch tab or shop tab, I think it is, or it's just themunstercast.com/merch, where you can go and find some of our shirts and stuff like that. I think Tivis might be wearing one right now. Is that one of ours? Yeah. So
the original.
That's one of ours right there. And then you can also join the Patreon at patreon.com/themunstercast. There, it's nothing special, guys. We're not like hiding any content behind a paywall or anything for you. We're just, opening up some
like
BTS
a
stuff.
tip, basically,
Yeah.
Throw in a buck if you can. Tell other people, leave a review. It all helps us.
Right. And we're not going to be like, Disney, where we're going to jack the rates up in like 5 weeks.
All right.
Anyways, is there anything else I was missing? Email. You can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah. And that's a great way to let us know, like Scott did, about things going on in the Munster fandom or Munster scandom, as you would. And Tim is just shaking his head. And so definitely hit us up and let us know what you think about the show, everything like that. You can leave reviews on all your podcast services that you listen to us on. You can also go to the website and leave reviews straight there, so you don't even need an account or anything to leave a review for that. So that's really cool. Just kind of let us know who you are in some capacity, so that we know you're not like some deep fake account that's
and we'd love to hear about people's experiences with the franchise and the fandom. What kind of collections you got, how you got into it, stuff like that. That's all really cool.
Yeah. And then lastly, just hashtag TheMunsterCast on all social medias, man. It definitely helps us, I guess. I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure how the
Munster
hashtags
Monday.
all work. Right. So definitely check us out, guys. And with that said, Tivis, last things before we dive into the episodes. Anything?
I got nothing. I haven't seen anything on the movie in a while. I mean, we're still a month out. Right. Impatiently waiting.
Yeah. And we're only, this episode and next week's episode are the last 2 episodes for the original series, guys. Yeah.
I finished the show early because I know my time was going to be limited. So I'm all ready to go for the finale. It's both sad and exciting for what's ahead.
Right. All right. Well, you want to dive into this first episode here?
All right, let's do this.
All right.
Herman Sorority Caper, Season 2, Episode 30. Aired April 14th, 1966. Written by Doug Tibbles with Norm Liebman and Ed Haas. Directed by Ezra Stone. Excuse me. And we got quite a guest list for both episodes we're going to be talking today, so I'm going to be as quick as I can with them because I don't want this to be too long of an episode.
Right.
Especially since we're already going to go over a lot of time. But let's see. We got David.
By a lot of time, he means the time his wife gave him.
Well, she'll be fine. David Macklin as Phil, who played Billy Harris in the 64 to 65 show Harris Against the World. Mm-hmm. We got Ken Osmond as John, who played Eddie Haskell in Leave It to Beaver and the new Leave It to Beaver. So
the new Leave It to Beaver.
Probably recognize his face.
Okay.
Vicky Fee as the first girl. Only other acting credit is Janet in the 1966 movie Out of Sight. So I thought I'd give that a shout out. Bonnie Franklin as Janice. She played Anne Ramiro in One Day at a Time, which ran from 74 to 84. She directed 2 of those episodes, by the way. She played Sister Celeste in The Young and the Restless in 2012. And we will be seeing her again in Munsters Today, as she directed many episodes.
Okay.
Well, I guess we won't be seeing her, but we'll be seeing her influence on the show.
Right.
The series.
Okay.
We got Vicky Draves as Cindy, Heidi Scott as the second girl, Michael Ross as the campus policeman, William Fawcett as the janitor. Now, he played Merlin the Magician in the 1949 serial The Adventures of Sir Galahad, and Jed in Fireside Theater, which ran from 59 to 55. He was only in it from 51 to 55 towards the end, but pretty cool. We got Frank Gardner as Ralph, who you may not remember, but played the first GI in season 1, episode 20, Bats of a Feather.
Oh, cool.
The one where Grandpa gets traded after a pet contest at school.
Yeah.
Eddie the jerk.
He goes off to like the NASA or something where they're going to send him to space. Finally we got Michael Blodgett as Jim. Okay.
Now this one I thought you would find interesting. He wrote Turner and Hooch, as well as all 12 episodes of the sequel 2021 show.
I didn't know they did a 2021 show.
Yeah, the Turner and Hooch show on Disney Plus. It's
yeah. Okay.
What's his name? Jake from Drake and Josh.
Right.
No, not Drake. Josh from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
He also played Tad in Never Too Young, which ran from 65 to 66.
Okay. All right.
So synopsis?
Synopsis. Herman Sorority Caper, April 14th, 1966. As Tivis previously stated, to cure Herman of his hiccups, Grandma puts him into a trance. To cure Herman of his hiccups, Grandpa puts him into a trance. When a couple of fraternity pledges are sent to spend the night in the Munster house, they mistake him for a dummy and bring him to a sorority house. Dun, dun, dun.
This episode was full of hijinks.
Yeah, I have a few issues with some of the stuff that happens too, so let's
All right, I look forward to hearing it. Let's see. We open with the family all heading to the mailbox.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. Herman wants everyone to synchronize their watches and sends Lily and Marilyn to cover positions A and B. Grandpa must watch the flank, but also the rear because Eddie has homework. Herman will be covering driving. Grandpa wants to know why they need a master plan for the drive-in. Lily tells him Herman's brain used to belong to a mechanic, and Grandpa just concedes, like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. This probably helped him during the war, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Grandpa is told to check on the popcorn, and he begins taking the hood ornament off. Which I'm like, what? Why? What?
Yeah, he just starts to unscrew it. Just like, oh gosh, no.
Lily wants to know what they are seeing, and Herman goes, the beast who ate Lower New Jersey. I think that includes Gotham. No reaction from Mike. Okay. Grandpa gets the hood ornament off finally, and it begins shooting him with popcorn. He says,
I wonder how much of that like got like all over Fred, like up in his nose and crap, because it just shot up.
You mean
it
Al?
wasn't like, or Al? Yeah, sorry, but it was like big kernels too. It wasn't like just. Or it wasn't big kernels. I mean, it was just, it looked like the popcorn just shredding as it was coming out. So, or whatever they used. So,
after this happened, I realized that the noise the car was making was popping popcorn the entire scene. And like, how did I miss that? But, so they head off to the movies.
So is it making popcorn every time they're driving?
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Drive down the street and it shoots out the muffler.
Instead of an oil slick, it's popcorn. Immediately after they pulled away, two college students roll up, and apparently they're planning on having sorority night in the Munsters' house.
Fraternity night.
Yeah, whatever. They don't even stop to think, what if someone lives here? Because Eddie is still in the house, I might add.
Yeah.
But it's okay. He's got Spot. And,
Cat.
Maybe the babysitter.
And Charlie.
We haven't seen anybody else watching Eddie since the first episode. Maybe he got more mature and he can watch after himself. I know I was since kindergarten.
He did recently just turn 9 again.
According to Herman, it's whatever age Lily says.
Well, they had his birthday and he was like, he's 9, or he just turned 9. And I was like, wait, he was 9 like a couple episodes before that, though. So, yeah.
Maybe she was rounding up, because I do that to myself. As I get close to my birthday, I start saying I'm the age I haven't turned yet.
Nope. We are in our 30s. We are as our age until our birthday. And then maybe still a little younger.
I'm close enough to 32. Let's see. Lily and Grandpa are pulling Herman inside. Didn't know where Marilyn was at this time. Couldn't see her. And apparently he had some kind of fit and they had to leave early from the drive-in. We'll find out what fit that was here in a second. Also, I think it's still supposed to be night out, but it does not look it.
No, it does not.
Grandpa is mad. He didn't even see if the creature ate all of New Jersey. And Lily says it got to Atlantic City, and that should make anyone happy. As someone with a fake hatred for New Jersey, this made me laugh, because I don't know why I started this bit, but I if you ever listen to our Operation Babel, I got hated for New Jersey for some reason. So Herman apparently has the hiccups. And Marilyn finally shows up. Don't know where she was hiding. But Herman hiccups and the house nearly caves in.
Yeah. I would not want to be around Herman when he has the hiccups ever.
No.
Like
the family's reactions in this episode, very warranted.
Yeah. He seems very uncontrollable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Grandpa says they're getting better. What's that?
Are you sure it's not Johan?
Yeah, we'll never know. Yeah, Grandpa says they're apparently getting better. And Eddie runs down to his cousin hoping he heard wrong. Because, how could you not hear that? Marilyn confirms it is the hiccups, and they had to leave the drive-in because he knocked the screen down. Oh, I'd be so mad.
Oh, yeah. Well, nowadays they wouldn't even decide to put it back up. They just sell the property off to freaking HOA. I mean, sorry.
HOA?
Yeah.
Herman hiccups again, and the couch falls apart.
Anyway.
The Raven sticks his head out, screams earthquake, and flies away, and some of the ceiling caves in.
Yeah.
Marilyn says they need to fix this or no one is going to get any sleep. Very fair.
If they might have a house by the end of the night to go to sleep in. So
I want to point out this little trivia thing now, because I didn't think about it when I was watching, but the front door closes as if there was someone behind it, but Eddie was upstairs and the rest of the family had already come in.
Mm-hmm.
They have it listed as a continuity error. I say magic.
Or their ghost friend is there at the end.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. The invisible friend. So Herman has drank 25 glasses of water, and Grandpa is losing his cool because it hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, no, go on.
I was going to say, Herman stands up, and you can hear him make sounds like a water cooler as he moves around. It's a nice little gag that I appreciated.
Yeah. It was a stupid little, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Just go on. I don't have anything to add right there.
Lily suggests that he holds his breath, and Marilyn is just done with it all. She says, do it already. It's almost midnight, or 12, she says. I assume that's midnight. Or it could be noon. They might be up all night.
Well, they usually stay up all night. I don't know when they actually frickin' sleep, because they're like, oh, we're up all night. And then we're like, oh, but it's nighttime, so we gotta go to sleep. When do you guys sleep? Just randomly?
Whenever they get tired.
I don't think they actually need sleep.
Probably not. But Herman sucks in air and his chest inflates again. And I love when they do this gag. Grandpa begins timing him. But Herman hiccups, destroys the kitchen, and Eddie loved this one and asked him to do it again because he had all the air
window out. He blows the entire window out, not just the glass, but the entire frame of the window just flies out.
Oh, so in the lab, Grandpa is trying to hypnotize Herman. I don't think this is a good idea to get Herman in the basement, first off, but they do it anyway. With all
the breakables stuff.
Well, I was thinking more of the house caving in on it.
Foundation of it. Yeah.
Grandpa says, you will sleep it off and tomorrow night your hiccups will be gone. Herman says, last time you hypnotized me, I woke up and my wallet was gone. Grandpa swears that was a coincidence.
Grandpa stole his wallet. Anyways.
Yeah. He was probably planning on stealing it before he hypnotized Herman.
We know Grandpa is all about the money.
So Grandpa begins, and it doesn't exactly work on Herman, but Igor passes out.
Yeah.
Then Herman hiccups Grandpa.
Igor a whole lot, so
yeah. Herman hiccups Grandpa into a cauldron. And yeah, so upstairs, Lily and Marilyn are still annoyed that it's going on because they heard it. It was just a quick little shot to them talking about how annoyed they are. Back downstairs, we get this cool image of Grandpa climbing out of his foggy cauldron.
Yeah. Then Al, or Grandpa, anyways, tries one last time to hypnotize Herman, and the look that Al gets on his face, he just balloons up and it's just like shaking back and forth and starts
making noise.
Yeah. This scene was kind of cool because you got like the close up of Al doing all of his cool kooky stuff with his face. And then you go over to Fred, and Fred's doing, or Herman, and Herman's doing the same like kookiness with his face that he can, but his is elongated. So it's actually really cool when you think about it, because Fred has the longer face, the skinnier, longer face. And then Al has like a more rounded, smaller face. So when you go back and forth to it's perfect comedy elements right there, man.
I love this because Grandpa starts smoking it. He calls this the Transylvania brain freezer, which at first I thought he was going to take Herman's brain out and stick it in a freezer. But yeah, he starts doing all that weird stuff. It's smoke coming out of his ears. You cut to Herman, you cut back to Grandpa, you cut to Herman, you cut back to Grandpa. He's holding sparklers for some reason.
And Herman's like bolts on his neck start lighting up and sparking and stuff.
And he passes right out, and the bolts continue to light up as he's passed out.
Yeah.
Grandpa then runs upstairs screaming that he did it. Thank God he didn't wake Herman.
He's super excited too that he did it. Like he's acting like a little kid in this spot.
It was such a weird scene. I could honestly, someone needs to. There's so many scenes in this show you could make a GIF. Someone needs to do that one because it's just so weird out of context. It's so weird in context.
Yeah.
So the family are carrying Herman, which is clearly a mannequin with tiny hands, through the living room up the stairs.
And see, like, so I want to put this into perspective for some people too watching the episode. Herman's weight is about 380 pounds is what they've said in the past.
Yeah, well, it fluctuates, but it's definitely over 300.
But I can respect that these people can move him because, you know, you have two vampires and,
yes,
and
we'll
a
get to that.
succubus moving him. So,
We'll get to what you're talking about or want to talk about.
I just want to set ground for that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're all really happy that now they can go to sleep.
Yep.
So the college
and Lily takes a risk because she still sleeps next to Herman as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I was just like, wait, what if he just has like a big hiccup and the whole bed crashes on you and then like a splinter of wood stakes you because you're a vampire, you know. Anyways.
Wow. Okay.
That went dark, man.
Yeah, it did. So
it went so dark because you're talking about a vampire and a Frankenstein monster.
It went dark because you're talking about someone killing their loved one with a hiccup.
I mean, he almost does multiple times.
Anyway, the college students roll up with their pledges and tell them they must stay the night for their hazing. Hazing's stupid. Thank God people are being punished for it. Yeah, the two pledges walk up to the manor, get a little freaked out as they get closer, and just open the door and go inside. Do the Munsters not have a lock?
I don't think so, because everyone just walks up in there.
So
like everybody walks up in there.
Yeah, they do. One of them accidentally opens Spot's door and naturally freaks out at the sight. I'm sorry, Spot naturally freaks out at the sight of two strangers just in the house. They close it and they're like, boy, they're really putting on a show for us.
Yeah, they must have spent a lot of money to do that one gag. Let's go see what else they have set up for us.
Lily wakes up hearing footsteps, tries to wake Herman up before realizing he's hypnotized still. She says it's probably one of Grandpa's experiments, wandering around the house again, and goes back to sleep. What is Grandpa doing?
He's just chilling. He's sleeping.
No, what experiments are wandering? Like, are these kidnapped people?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Grandpa is a complicated person too.
Is it me, or are these two frat boys? Are they
Pledges.
like the pledges? Yeah, sorry, they're not frats yet. The pledges, they would be like the perfect addition to the Scooby Gang, because they just walk in and be like, oh, all this shit's fake. Like,
yeah, fire Shaggy
unmask.
and Scoob.
Right.
So the pledges find the trapdoor and go down, completely ignoring Kitty laying there on the couch. You gotta pet a cat. Like, come on.
I was surprised that they didn't have, like, they had the cat. They just call it the cat, right? Or is it called Kitty? It's called Kitty. Okay. They just have Kitty sitting there with like this like Arabian or like Egyptian necklace. I don't even know what it was on, but I was like, the cat's not gonna roar, really?
Yeah,
we're not gonna have it roar. It just sat there like it was like it snuck on set and it sat on the couch and said, "Screw it, I'm in the scene now."
It's nice that they remember that the family owns a cat, because I can't remember the last time we saw Kitty.
But it also does set like up, like, you know, if someone breaks into your house, your cat ain't doing shit. They're gonna be like, they're upstairs sleeping, go downstairs and get all the jewelry.
Cat, no, don't expect a cat. Like, there are some rare videos you see. Have you seen the? We're going way off topic with, but the realtor who goes into a house to check it out before she starts listing it, and the cat is home and like traps her in the bedroom.
No.
Oh yeah, it's like hunched up. Like every time she takes a step at it, it's like charges her.
I've seen like the videos of the cats like saving kids and stuff. I've seen some of those, which are kind of cool. So, but yeah, this I like the fact that they brought back Kitty for this episode, because you just toss him right there on the couch and Didn't have to do nothing. Just sit there, cat.
Yeah.
And the cat really didn't give a crap because it didn't even really follow them with its eyes or nothing.
No,
So
its cat don't care.
he was just like, I'm sitting here. I'm getting my damn check.
Someone who lives with 2 cats, they don't care about anything unless you're near their food bowl.
Yeah.
So they go into the lab and find Grandpa sleeping from the ceiling and freak out before saying he must be a dummy. They then go check his face. It's cold and clammy, so he can't be real. They call him dummy a bunch and then head back upstairs where Grandpa slowly wakes up saying he thought he heard someone.
Yeah. He's like, oh, dang, too. It really messed me up. I was having a great nightmare.
Yeah, he's very unhappy. So the pledges enter the main bedroom.
What would a nightmare be for Grandpa? It wouldn't be like what we think of a nightmare. A nightmare would be something like living in the world like what they think Maryland should be in, right?
Maybe, or perhaps he's back to being in the old country being chased by Helsing. Van Helsing.
But wouldn't that be fun for him?
That's probably why he's like unhappy it's over.
Yeah, I guess.
He probably misses the old cat and mouse game. So the pledges enter the main bedroom, and they think Lily and Herman are fake too. Lily can hear footsteps from downstairs, but not 2 people having a loud conversation in front of their bed.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the pledges want to steal Herman. They want him as a decoration for the sorority house. And so they take him and we see the tiny hands again. We stated Herman is 300 pounds. These are very scrawny college kids.
Yeah, I was like, it took 2 vampires and a succubus to move Herman. And we're
alleged succubus.
Alleged, yes, allegedly. No. She's not running for office, chill. But it took 3 people of superior strength to move Herman, and they were struggling, and yet these 2 little, pledges, scrawny little guys come in there and just pick Herman up like he's nothing.
We do have to remember that regardless of how Marilyn looks and whether she is or not, she is still got Dracula blood in her veins.
Right. And whatever her,
parents,
other side of the family is.
Yeah.
If they're human or not, we don't know. Not in
well,
this
you
series
do,
anyways.
but I don't.
Oh, no, not in this series. I think what I know is completely different from this setup.
Well, that's fair. So the next morning, Grandpa is enjoying some tea and the paper as Lily rushes in saying they have an emergency. Herman is missing. He doesn't see this as an emergency and goes back to reading.
Yeah.
Lily smashes the rolling plate over his head and he turns to her calmly and says, I think you want to tell me something. So I just love this interaction because he's like, oh, I don't care. And she's like, I'm listening now. Marilyn then yells at him. Lily says, put the obituaries down and do something. So Grandpa says, fine, I'll wake him up, calm down. So then he does his incantation.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna wake up Herman. Basically, he starts acting kind of like the other Frankenstein did.
Oh yeah,
with
Victor
Johann.
Frankenstein the Fourth.
Yeah, and just like it's like basically my magic works, across seas or whatever. Who knows? Yeah. So Grandpa does that, and it works.
Yep. Herman wakes up in a closet.
Surprisingly, Grandpa's magic has been working a lot more efficiently the last several episodes that we've watched.
Maybe he's been practicing.
He's had hundreds of years beforehand. He should have.
Maybe they forbid him from doing it when they move to the new country.
Maybe. Or maybe he started stealing all these other people's because we've ran into the other guy who did magic, his family, and the Fregosi Emerald and stuff. So maybe
he's been stealing their magic,
or he buddied with them and is learning new stuff, or relearning his old stuff. So maybe that's what it is. And kept in contact with Frankenstein so he could do the mind melding weird stuff. I don't know.
But yeah, Herman wakes up in a closet.
Yeah. He pops up, he wakes up in the closet and he's like, oh, hi there. Because he sees some clothes just hanging there. Realizes they're empty. Realizes everything's empty and realizes, oh shit, this is a woman's closet.
I hope it's Lily's.
He's like, I'm in the girl's closet. Please let me Lily's. And I love the fact that he's so worried about, what girl's closet he's in or what he possibly could have done while unconscious. So
leaves the closet, realizes he's in a sorority house and been freaking out because he's a married man in a sorority house full of girls.
Yeah. Yep.
He tries to sneak out, but the women are coming back in for the day. So he goes into the bathroom and finds hanging laundry. And he says he should have went back to the closet.
Yeah.
One of the women go ahead.
Oh, she's like, oh, I'm going to go into the bathroom and get my toothbrush or whatever. So he hides into the shower and shuts it very, lightly. Very poorly. Yeah. And the shower was like, it had less protection, visible protection, I should say, than the shower in freaking Psycho, the original.
Yeah.
So,
then she,
go on.
Yeah. Well, then she decides she wants to have a shower. And I want to say the two girls had a conversation before she got her toothbrush that they only had 10 minutes before they had to leave for the next class.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not enough time to shower.
And she's like, oh, I have enough time to shower. I mean, I guess it depends how clean you are already. She's just probably going to rinse off or I don't know.
Maybe.
Just get away from this before I say something inappropriate to this.
But she turns the shower on and it's so hot. It's literally just steam pouring down on Herman.
Yeah.
So the two women are talking about how there isn't time, which is what I just said. And then one of them notices the steam piling out of the bathroom and like, oh no, the water is way too hot. I didn't even know the water could get that hot. So she goes in there and shuts it off. And Herman's just sitting there. Well, at least I know how to get rid of my hiccups now, as steam is flowing from his ears.
Yeah. And
which, Herman, your hiccups were gone before that.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, maybe steam would have helped him.
Maybe, yeah.
Once again, maybe that's what he should try now. So,
yeah. That's something I've never tried.
Steam?
Yeah, get one of those like air vapor things.
I just let it ride, man. Just let it ride.
Yeah. I honestly fear that I ever get the hiccups that last like more than an entire day, because that sounds miserable. But so once again, Herman attempts to sneak out. He has to hide as a coat rack from two tennis players that are walking by.
Mm.
He spots a phone booth and attempts to call home, but continuously has to duck as multiple women walk by.
But by the time he does call home, good for Herman, because he actually remembered his number this time.
Yes, he did.
Because remember, he was in jail episode or two ago, and he did not know his number. He ended up calling the
Better Business Bureau.
The BBB. And so I was glad that he actually remembered his number. So he calls home. We get Lily answering the phone, super worried and everything. And okay.
Wait. Before he gets a chance to call, the phone actually rings and freaks him out. Yeah. He answers it before someone notices. This number has been disconnected and hangs.
He's like, this has been temporarily disconnected. This is a message. Pink.
Yeah, and then he's like on the floor, like dialing out of view.
Yeah. And he does the whole call basically on the floor. And he calls home. Lily's there. He's like, I'm in trouble. She's like, oh, you're in trouble? You're blah, blah, blah. Where are you? You're at a sorority house? You two-timing. She doubles back to her like every time like Herman's around another woman in any capacity, he must be cheating on her. So there's some issues there. Lily.
Yeah.
You need to be a little more I don't know,
trusting after 100 years.
Trusting or confident in yourself that you can hold down a man.
Yeah. So she's about to send Grandpa out. Then he tells her where he is and she freaks out on him. And then he attempts to leave again, but more women walk by. So he has to run back into the room he just escaped from.
Yeah. When she hangs up, she yells at Grandpa again.
She's, go get him.
I thought this was going to lead into like you were right, Dad. Like, just go do whatever you have to do to disassemble this mother.
After Grandpa finds out that he's in a sorority club, he's basically like, okay, sure, I'll go rescue him from the building of young women.
Yeah.
He's no problem at all.
Those are potential victims for Grandpa.
Do you remember what he does?
Yeah, he bolts down. He bolts out of the way, like Flash runs.
He makes a proclamation first. Make way! It's Count Dracula to the rescue.
Yeah, the first time he mentions himself as Count Dracula, I believe.
It's the weirdest thing he's ever done.
It actually, so here's what I thought watching this scene. Okay, so breaking the scene down. He says that Count Dracula to the rescue, runs down, bolts to the basement,
and this is sped up, by the way, to show that he's running super fast.
But if you get the gag, like he says that by the phone booth, by the way, just let me go with this.
Oh my God.
He bolts down, grabs the bat pill, turns into, which by the way, I want to mention, he actually labeled these ones for once.
Yeah, he did.
So we know he has these on hand all the time.
It says bat potion with potion scribbled out with pills underneath. So it used to be a potion.
Yeah. So he just made it in pill form so he could easily take it quicker, probably on the run. So then he falls down. We see the bat come up and the bat zooms out and busts through the door, leaving the bat-shaped symbol in the door. I was like, oh, dude, this has got to be in reference to the Batman, right? Because the Batman show had just come out recently. It was doing really good.
Maybe it's a mix of both that and Superman because the phone booth.
Well, always in the 60s Batman show, too, it was always Bruce Wayne on the phone. And then he'd hang the phone up and then jump down the bat pole to the cave or lab, change into his suit and bust out, and then you get the bat signal or bat symbol. So that's where I grabbed that from. I was like, oh, they're totally just doing a Batman thing right now.
So Grandpa needs a pill to become a bat now, which, I mean, you know what? No judgment. We all inevitably end up there. But Lily's like cheering him on, and after he busts through the door, there's that scene of her like looking out the hole.
Yeah. So
it's just such a weird scene.
But that's what I gathered from that scene, was that it was like it was showing like the Batman shit, like it was doing what Batman does, because at that time that's what we had. We didn't have a Superman show. We had Superman serials back then.
Well, that was in the 50s, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, Superman, when did the cartoon begin?
I don't remember.
I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, you're probably right with the Batman thing.
Yeah.
It just, I was cracking up at that whole thing. Count Dracula to the rescue. So, the girls are sitting on their bed at the sorority house. Excuse me. At the sorority house. I keep bumping my mic. I really hope that doesn't show up in the audio.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I apologize if it is. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to. But the girls are sitting on their bed and they're like, boy, this mattress is lumpy. Let's turn it over. Camera pans out. Herman is hiding underneath. And as they go to lift it, one of them sticks their feet into Herman's mouth. And she gets annoyed at her friend. I just stepped on it in a hat box. And they're like, you know what? Tomorrow's clean sheets day. It'll be easier to just do it then. I'm like, that's actually smart. Yeah. At that moment, Grandpa flies in, freaks the girls out, and they run. Grandpa,
out.
Yeah. He's now talking to Herman in English again, which, you know, again, why didn't this happen in that one episode where he got almost sent to space?
He was clearly, though, a different breed of bat at that time.
Maybe the pill allows him to talk English while he's a bat.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or talk in general, because even when he was a horse, he could talk. But when he was also in wolf form, he couldn't talk.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how his magic works.
When he puts himself in those forms, using his trans, whatever they call it, anamorphing, when he anamorphs,
yeah, that's good.
When he anamorphs into the animals, he can't speak any language but what those animals speak. But if he takes like his potions and stuff, he's still cognitive enough to use his actual speech. Let's put that down in canon. That's canon right there.
All right, I believe it. Makes sense in my head. So Grandpa tells Herman to get out.
I hope people got the Animorphs reference, by the way.
Grandpa tells Herman to get out, and so Herman jumps out the window. Grandpa decides to stay behind to scare them and perches on their bookcase. And a bunch of women in security come into the room and wonder where this old man came from who's sitting on their thing doing this with
Clucking.
flapping his arms.
My favorite part is the fact that these girls ran out and got the police for a bat.
Yeah, the campus security.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Why did you get them, of all people, for a bat?
He jumps off the mantle and begins jumping on the bed, saying that he's a bat.
Yeah.
And the security grab him, and Grandpa says, "Don't break my wings, I'll bite you in the neck," and takes a lunge at the guy with his mouth.
Not so hard, you're gonna break my wings.
Grandpa could not have made himself look any more insane.
Oh no, he totally looked insane. It was just like when he was the horse and changed back and he didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, every time he's an animal and he changes back and doesn't realize it, he always talks as like he thinks he's still the animal. Like that's going to be any better.
Like, oh man, I'm in the bat union.
So yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, they start hauling him away as a crazy person, and he sees himself in the mirror and realizes, oh, I'm a person again. Or Dracula, whatever you want to be.
I'm a Dracula again.
Now we cut to breakfast the next day, and Eddie is bragging how Grandpa was a jail bat instead of a jailbird.
Yeah.
Lily says it was nice of them to release him into their care. And Marilyn probably helped with this. You know, she's friends with the cops now.
Oh, yeah.
Herman asks if
they're her ride, man. Remember?
Yeah, her carpool.
Yeah, carpool. That's what it is.
Herman asks if the charge was first-degree chicken chasing. And Grandpa says it would never have happened if Herman didn't get hiccups. And Herman says, it's okay. They're gone now. He then hiccups and the family decide that they're just leaving the house until it's done.
Yeah, he hiccups and the whole freaking table shatters. And then Lily's like, all right, peace, I'm out. She's the first one, too. It's just like, I'm going. I love you.
Done with this.
She gives him a kiss and walks out. And then everyone else follows as it progresses.
Yeah, he continues destroying the house.
Yeah, the water furnace thing falls down and he falls backwards. Water furnace?
The boiler?
Boiler, yeah, that's what it was. Whatever.
Water heater, whatever you want to call it.
Water heater, water furnace. Wouldn't that be the same damn thing?
I just never heard it called that before.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's how this episode ends. They just leave him to destroy the house alone.
Yeah.
I have to say,
just ends.
I love this episode. I really did. It had so many weird little things in it that I was having such a good time the entire time.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. I'm double checking something I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, water furnace is a water heater. Yeah. Okay.
You're checking to see if it's a real thing.
Water boiler. They call it a bunch of different things. Okay. All right. Just making sure I'm not crazy.
Are you done giving your thoughts? Should I go into trivia or you got more to say on it?
As far as this episode, yeah, I loved it, man. I really liked the facial expressions that we got from Fred and Al in the one scene, back and forth. But then like Al being up on the freaking shelf unit, and yeah, it was great. Awesome.
Oh, this is good time just all around. So trivia. Yep. Alpha Kappa was Ward Cleaver's fraternity in Leave It to Beaver, which was the same group that came to the Munsters house. So little bit of crossover. Don't forget, Leave It to Beaver creators are the ones who came and made the Munsters. When Grandpa gives Herman his hiccup recipe, Herman mentions the Franny Farmer cookbook. Now, Franny Farmer was an American culinary expert who wrote the book originally in 1896, and it was titled The Boston Cooking School Cookbook, which became a bestseller. It was renamed to Fanny Farmer's Boston Cooking School Cookbook in 1946. And then in 1965, they decided to end the giant mouthful that was and simplify it to the Franny Farmer's Cookbook.
Nice.
So, little history on that. Herman told the police that he was over 300 pounds like a few episodes ago. So as we said, the frat boys shouldn't have been able to move him that easily. And I already mentioned the bit about the front door. I disagree with IMDb that's a continuity error. So
screw them for letting those frat boys carry Herman. I've been into a wax museum where I have a photo of me with Herman. Maybe I'll share it on Instagram or something of him from the wax museum. And I know just the wax version of Herman, those guys probably wouldn't have been able to carry so easily. So, you know, and not to mention it probably would have broke. Yeah. Screw them. I do hate the fact that I had to take that picture during COVID, like hard time COVID. So I had to have my mask on when I took the picture. They wouldn't let us take them off. Anyways, I wanted to share this. I have this awesome Lily Munster action figure that I found. One of my guys at the toy shop in town hooked me up with it. It does have a damage up here, which kind of sucks, but I want to share this with everyone who can see the video anyways. If you can't see the video, maybe I'll take a picture, toss it on Instagram or something for everybody else. So it's pretty cool figure there. Awesome. Anyways, I wanted to share.
Ready to jump into the second episode? Almost an hour into this. This is going to be a long penultimate episode for the original series.
Yeah. So let's dive into the next episode.
All right. Herman's Lawsuit, Season 2, Episode 31, aired April 21st, 1966. This one was written by the trio of Doug Tipples and Joe Connolly and Bob Mosier, this time all working in unison. Directed by Ezra Stone. Guests this episode include our Dorothy Green as Marge Kingley, who played Lavinia Tate in Tammy, which ran from 65 to 66, and Jennifer Brooks in The Young and the Restless from 73 to 77 was when she was part of that show. I'm not going to list when that show aired because it's still going and it's been on forever. We have Monroe Arnold as the movie director.
Ooh.
Simon Scott as Wilbert Kingsley. Now, they also played John Riggs in 8 episodes of Mark Ham, which ran from 59 to 60. Sorry.
Okay.
General Bronson in 9 episodes of McHale's Navy, which ran from 62 to 66. And Chief Barney Metcalf in 9 episodes of Mod Squad. I am so sorry, which ran from 68 to 73. Man, what is going on today? We have Van Wine. That's right, THAN. I was shocked by that too. As the Legionnaire captain. They played Lindsay Seattle Pina. I got that completely wrong. In 7 episodes of Zorro, the 57 to 59 Zorro.
Oh, nice.
Fabian Dean as the foreman, which he was Harry in 12 episodes of the Tin Conway Show, which aired in the 70s, or 1970. We got Eddie Marr as the man, Bob Harvey as the customer, who eagle-eyed viewers may recognize as the photographer from Underground Munster.
Okay.
We got Jerome Cowan as Ted Thatcher, Mel Blanc back uncredited as the Raven. I don't know why he wasn't listed on last episode as well. And finally, we have George Holmes, uncredited as a crew member of the movie set towards the end. George Holmes, he's got an interesting background. He has been so many background characters and in minor roles, so many interesting things. Like he was part of The Godfather, and like I recommend checking out his career in general. It's no wonder they made note of him in this. He's also had many different jobs outside of acting, like ice skating and even a pro wrestler for a little bit. His career is just fascinating. So I wanted to give a little shout out to George Holmes. So synopsis time.
Oh, I gotta do a synopsis too. All right, let's do it this way.
Back
Here
to
we
my
go.
Kool-Aid.
Herman's lawsuit, April 21st, 1966, as Tivis previously stated. When Herman gets hit by a car, he emerges unscathed, but the car is totaled. The driver, meanwhile, assumes she has disfigured Herman, and her attorney suggests that she try to settle with him for $10,000. Herman assumes that this is the amount he owes for the damage to the car. Dun, dun, dun. Let's go.
All right.
Is this also this is the second time a car's ran into Herman and just gotten totaled like this? And I believe it's the same street too.
This is also the same road that that fake director was trying to get Herman killed for life insurance money.
Yeah. So there's some other cool stuff that actually happened in this opening scene here.
With the storm outside and the lightning and pouring rain.
Yeah.
It was such a cool, it was short, but possibly my favorite. Also, no overlay this episode. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yep. So we open with Lily in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And as Tivis said, we have all that stuff going on, the storm and everything. It really reminded me of a theater, like where they would have the storms and shit going on outside like that. The visuals anyways reminded me of a theater performance for that. She's making breakfast, I want to say. And she's making cake. She's making a cake is what she's doing. Yeah.
She's deciding what to cook because Eddie's going through the family Rolodex.
Well, no, she's making the cake because she's he's going through and asking what these people are, like Bloody Mary, and
Caesar salad, beef stroganoff, Napoleon brandy.
Yeah, so like he goes through a bunch of different people for different ones, and she's like, oh yeah, and they all used to be like family friends, and he's like, so what are you making then, Mom? And she's like, oh, well, something Grandpa's best friend used to make.
Yeah, Grandpa favorite people, one of Grandpa's favorite people.
Yeah, one of Grandpa's favorite people. And we go over to Grandpa. We don't see Grandpa. We don't see Al in
He's
this.
reading the Transylvania Gazette.
Yeah.
Over his face the entire time.
Yeah.
I
so
love
clearly
this shot.
Al wasn't on set for this. And little scene here, which I noticed throughout this episode.
I don't know. I think that could have been him.
I don't know, man. There's several instances in this episode where I'm like, it was either redone footage or Al came in and shot something after they had shot everything else because he had to catch up or something. Because the way they do the camera angles on him in a lot of the shots in this episode.
Yeah, maybe it was his off day.
Maybe.
What happens when Eddie asks Grandpa what it is?
He said devil. The devil's cake. Devil's cake.
He takes his paper. It just goes down. He's got the cigar in his mouth with a crazy look on his face. Devil's food cake. And goes back to read.
Oh, does he pull the paper down? I missed that part.
Yeah, it shows his face.
Away right when they did that because it was so fast. It's a crazy
look too, dude. You got to go back and look at it.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to go back because I heard it, but I didn't see that. So I probably moved my head or something, and I just didn't see it because it happened
quick,
fast.
But it's the weirdest, strangest look on his face with the cigar sticking out.
Yeah. Dang, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now. Just that scene, at least. So then we go to credits.
Yeah. The thunder and lightning like intensifies. So she's like, "What's keeping Herman with his errands?" And then we get a shot of Herman walking or waiting to cross a road with a bag in the sun as the storm only seems to be around the house again.
Mm-hmm.
On the side of the road, it says, or on one side it says walk, and on his side it says walk. The other side says don't walk. And he's like, oh, so which one do I do?
Yeah.
So then he starts walking, and then the walk one changes to don't walk. And he's like, crap, I'm in the middle of the road. And then a car hits him.
It wasn't even that far from the sidewalk either. No. That's the funny.
And he destroys this car. It like explodes into a million pieces.
And he's freaking out. And then eventually he falls backwards.
Yeah, he like faints because he thinks the lady inside got hurt. Yeah.
And we get this spot where last time Herman fell down from being hit or something. His wig popped off the top of his head. Yeah, it did it again here. So I'm like, hey, at least it's continuity. Like, it continually does it.
Herman wear a wig?
Right. Is it a piece?
Yeah.
Well, no, because Grandpa's always having to cut it. So unless they're taking someone else's hair.
So yeah, I mean, with this I don't. Yeah, you know what? It's probably better off not knowing.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, she rushes off for an ambulance, and he wakes up noticing that she's gone, freaking out that he has to get his insurance for the police, that she's inevitably called on him. And before leaving, he blames the crossing light, yanks it out of the ground, and the one on the other side of the road just falls over on its own. Then the intro happens.
Yeah, then the intro happens. They set up a lot in this intro here, or in the opening.
A little bit of an error I didn't make note of, but Herman's like fully submerged in that puddle when he's on the ground, but when he gets up, his jacket's like dry.
Yeah.
So I didn't put it in the trivia because I didn't think it was that important, but you know what? I'm gonna say it.
Why didn't they freaking glue his head down or his hair down?
Ow.
They should just have glued it onto the top because the top is not Fred's head.
I guess glue is better than staples.
Staples would have fit, would have matched the costume.
So, yeah. At the table, Herman's isn't eating due to the accident, and he's so worried that he's going to get in trouble for walking against the light, not looking both ways, and stopping in the middle of the road, also ruining her car. Grandpa just nods, clearly not paying attention at all.
Yeah.
Eddie says, have some cake and relax. Lily tells Grandpa they had the first cut.
Mm-hmm.
He starts cutting into it, and it begins sparking out the top.
These scenes are really awkward with Al in this episode because you see him with what the heck are they called? It's not a cake cutter. It's for cement.
Like, yeah.
It's for masonry work. I forget what the technical term is, but he pulls that out, and then we don't see him actually cutting it. We just see the hand doing it. So I'm like, I don't know if Al was on set or not for half of these scenes, or if they just went back and did some pickups.
With as goofy as his character is becoming these last few episodes, I wonder if they already got word that they're not being renewed. So he's just having fun while he can.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, he gives
another scene that happens too later that I'll bring up too.
Okay. He gives the first piece that he cut to Eddie, who is delighted to have it when the sparkler on top, like the prop sputters and it causes Butch Patrick to flinch.
Yeah.
Granted. Ow.
I mean, I'd be worried that the whole set's going to burn down every day there.
Now, I'm didn't
curious
do the
because you've seen the original Addams Family show. Did they do a lot of things like this in that show?
I was watching them both together for a bit until we hit about the midway point of season 1 of Munsters, and then I ran out of time. I wasn't able to. So they may have later on, but not in the ones I saw.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I've actually, in my iTunes playlist, because, yes, I know Apple, not a great company, but it's so convenient.
Shh, we're on Apple iTunes. Don't say that.
They know what they are. So you can create like playlists and have it shared from your iTunes on your computer to your Apple TV. So I have it that way. So I have everything from 65 right now. I even redid the Munsters to watch that with them to see if there's any parallels. Also, I just really love this show.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
anyway, sorry,
I'll see. I'll give you an update if I see
I was
anything.
just curious if they had any things like that going on there.
Yeah,
so.
I can't say for sure.
Okay.
Also, there's going to be a lot of money amounts in this episode. I didn't do any conversion because there's just a lot.
Yeah.
So, let's see. A man reads Herman's license as the woman who hit him explains how he just vanished without a trace after the incident, apparently leaving his wallet. She fears he messed...
What?
Yeah, she's afraid that he is messed up. Okay. Because he ripped up the lights out of his craziness. And she's like, look, he's going to take $20,000 from us just for what she did to his face alone. She's sure of it.
And $20,000 is $182,886 to today's standards.
Yeah, these are compassionate little rich folks here.
Yeah.
Her husband's like, nah, we'll offer him $10,000 and not to go to court. And she's like, well, are you sure that he'll take it? And he responds, what? We convinced your mother to move to Alaska for only $8,000.
Yeah. And $10,000 is $91,454.
Damn. All right.
I told you the Munsters be making bank when they do stupid shit.
Yeah, well, we'll get to what happens, but
yeah.
So the Raven announces that the mail arrived, and Herman goes up to him and says, "Give it here and stop stealing from the mailman." So the Raven responds with "Nevermore" as Herman takes the letters out of his little birdhouse. Yeah. It's like, oh goody. Nevermore is back. My favorite. Got to get one more of those before the show ends. He begins reading the letter, and the Raven lands on his shoulder, which is cool because we never really see him interacting with the family all that much.
Yeah, he's usually just a stupid puppet inside of the clock, but
yeah, he's a wise ass.
Yeah, but this time, like, you actually saw him interact and do something outside of the clock, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. So he reads it. It's a settlement of $10,000. Everyone, including the Raven, thinks it's for him to pay, not receive. Herman freaks out, bangs his head on the wall like he did when I forget last time he did this, but yeah, it's what he does when he's stressed. Apparently,
he did it when Johan was out with Lily.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when another man was with his wife.
Yep.
Herman says if he had a gun, he would shoot himself, and the Raven produces one from its clock, drops it, causing it to go off. Lily and Herman duck from the sound of gunfire. Herman beats his chest and roars in response, and the Raven gives him a raspberry. It's the weirdest reaction or interaction between these two we've seen this entire show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, it's Johan. This is not Herman here.
So Herman thinks about retaliating against the bird again after the raspberry, but decides against it, especially after he notices Lily glaring at him.
Yeah.
It's nice that we finally got some kind of interaction between the bird and the family.
Yeah, there hasn't been much, but he was still uncredited.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding? I'm sorry.
69 episodes and Matt LeBlanc can't be named once. Not Matt LeBlanc.
Matt
That's
LeBlanc?
the guy from Friends.
Joey, no.
Mel Blanc.
How you doing? It's 3:00.
If you did not believe by now after 38 episodes that I'm bad with names, can you believe it now? So 3 days have passed and the rich a-holes haven't heard a response from the Munsters yet. The wife is getting nervous and the husband says the lawyer's going to deal with them in person. Relax.
It was nice too, because it's kind of like, look, your money isn't gonna buy you out of this issue. And that's what their problem was they were worried that their money couldn't get them out of the problem that they were in, or they thought they were in.
So we got Lily making food. That's the moral of
the story.
Lily's making food again. Eddie's polishing Spot's scales. Spot really enjoys this. They make note of that. I think we've made note of that before too. Have we? I don't know.
I believe so.
He asks why his dad had to go to work on a Saturday, and Lily says that they want to add a new wing, and Herman is in charge of getting the estimate. Yeah. Gateman is totally using him for imitation during this. I know, like, there's no other explanation.
Well, also she points out that the building or the place that cannot hold the capacity of work that is coming in too. So like people are just dropping like flies in Mockingbird Heights apparently. Coincidence?
Yeah.
And Marilyn's been out doing some succubus stuff, so I mean,
well, alleged.
Allegedly.
Also, we'll find out some stuff about Spot next week. That's a bit disturbing, but so they hear someone banging on the front door, and she sends Eddie to see who it is. Eddie opens it for the lawyer. He comments on Eddie's clothes, and Eddie responds with, "It's the only suit he has." So I'm like, is that really the only piece of clothing he has, or is he saying that he only has things that look like that?
Yeah, I think it kind of like the Peter Griffin thing or any, animation thing. It's all they have in their wardrobe. I don't think that would be the only piece of clothing they have.
Or is it a comment from the production crew how they never gave, like, everyone else has worn a different costume at least once. Eddie has not.
Yeah, he did. He wore like a baseball uniform once.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I guess.
And he's worn like different. He's worn the same looking outfit, but with a few different adjustments. I will say that. Lily is the one who's worn the least amount, I would say. She's always in the same thing, except for when they go to the beach.
I think her costume has changed a couple times. I was thinking Fred might be the one who's worn the least amount of costumes.
Well, yeah, but he also dresses, Charlie and Johan and every other frickin' time. Somebody, because then he was in the SSR and all that crap too.
Remember when Grandpa pretended to be a Brazilian guy interested in his daughter?
Yeah. Do we see that in Rob Zombie's movie?
I hope not. Let's just forget that ever happened, even though I just brought it up. So Eddie
But he only
invites.
did that to get Herman's memory back, by the way.
It was still creepy.
It was creepy.
Like the time he
'Cause how far would
pretended
he
to be
have
a
taken
woman
it?
and was into Herman.
Or that he was a horse and wanted Herman to ride him. Yeah, so
Oh boy, we have seen some shit. Eddie invites him in, invites the lawyer in and shows him to the couch. The man sits down and it falls apart on him. Eddie apologizes that happens all the time. Do they just repair the broken couch every time?
I think so. Because it's the same couch. How are they finding 500 different couches, you know? And who's repairing the couch?
Yeah, I guess.
That's the thing.
The lawyer goes over to the organ and hits a key, which it then shoots out dust. And I could see,
Always.
At this point, I realize what's happening. He thinks they're a poor family. As Lily rushes out, still in her cleaning getup, and apologizes for her appearance. She's making curried lizard casserole. Yeah. Yep. Which is a mess.
How do you get that timed with me perfectly, but you can't do the thing? Oh gosh.
The lawyer thinks they're very much hard up for cash. Because he's like, you're eating lizard?
Yeah. Like you're purposefully eating lizard?
Yeah. The lawyer asks about where Herman is, and instead of saying he's at work, she's saying he's getting an estimate down at the mortuary. He freaks out at this news.
Yeah. The mortuary.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can never be too sure.
Yeah. It's wise to be prepared for any eventuality. Yeah. Which, why are you saying this to him first off? That has nothing to do with him getting an estimate, but also,
well, yeah, you gotta be prepared to have the space.
Trying to pimp out Gateman's work, because they're like, oh yeah, if he goes there and gets something, they'll get a sale. Also, maybe. Not a bad idea, people. Just to let you know, it's like not anything anyone wants to think about, but I've seen what happens when you're not prepared with my grandparents, and it is a mess. So, back to the show.
Nice thing is, I don't have to worry about it once I'm dead.
Well, that's the problem. You pass it on other people. Ugh.
That's their issue then.
It's a big one. So yeah, he thinks that Herman's dying. Grandpa comes in and the lawyer asks if they, for some reason he asked this to Grandpa and not Lily, but 60s, sexism. But yeah. He's like, did you get a chance to go over the letter with your son-in-law? The Grandpa just smiles at him and goes, we certainly did. The lawyer asks, what do you think about the $10,000 settlement? He's still smiling. He's like, not a chance.
Yeah, this is another scene too where I felt that Al just picked it up later because of the way they shot it. They would do Lily stuff and then they'd shoot back over to him. It wasn't how they
feel
normally
like
shot
Grandpa's
it.
got some stuff going on in the background of this episode.
Yeah.
Because she's like, he's holding a bag and he's, what is that? He goes, it's moldy bread from the kitchen. I'm going to make some penicillin. Lawyer's like, he's making his own penicillin?
Can we get like Daniel Roebuck to do like, between the episodes of what Grandpa's doing?
Oh, that would be great for DVD extras. Just like film some shorts of him in between episodes. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
That would. I'm sure it's already set in stone though. It's out next month. Damn it.
What they
contact Rob Zombie at once.
At him. Also, if you want to, you can at Rob Zombie and say, hey, join the Munster Cast, because we would love to talk with him about the Munsters.
Oh, yeah, we would.
Anyways, moving forward.
Let's see. Lily asks if he can let himself out as she has to get back to dinner. He's like, okay, can I use the phone? She's like, yeah, it's right here. So he recounts everything that he's seen and is like, these people are going to take $100,000 from you if this goes to court. So whatever offer you gave them, you need to double it now. So go back to the 20,000 you were afraid of losing. So
Right. Yeah.
the phone decides to start closing with him in it, and he gets stuck in the wall, and we never see anyone let him back out.
He's like, wait, no, what's happening? What's happening? And then the music that the under music that's playing is perfect because it's like from one of the old horror movies and shit. It's like, holy crap. It was crazy. But he did mention, like, you know, like I don't the $100,000 that they would try and get like $100,000. They could easily get $100,000 from the jury.
Yeah.
And that is $914,432 today. So almost $1 million.
Dang.
Munsters, you take these people to court.
Yeah. So Grandpa walks into the kitchen and asks Marilyn where everyone else is. She tells him they got a new letter from the lawyer and they all ran off. Grandpa sits down to read his the now doubled offer and gets furious, thinking they want them to pay that much still. Lily went to beg for mercy from the lady who hit Herman. Meanwhile, Herman is hiding in the closet in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Grandpa misses the old country.
Back to another closet scene.
So we got Lily talking with the woman as she explains this is a settlement for you guys. And Lily's like, oh, well, all right, we'll just take $1.75 to get the suit cleaned.
Yeah.
And the rich witch happily agrees.
There should be guidelines against this shit.
Yep. Lily goes to tell Herman the good news, but the door is locked. So Grandpa's like, I got it. Key finger again.
Yeah.
He unlocks the door.
Which I'm glad they brought that back up.
I didn't expect to ever see that again. They find a sheet rope out the balcony saying at the end of it, it says he ran away like a rotten coward. So the whole episode suddenly changes to where did Herman go?
Yeah.
We see a shot of Herman looking at ads in the newspaper. The first one is a steel mill. Steel mill. Yeah. The foreman asks Herman if he could lift the stack of steel ingots.
Beams. Yeah. Beams.
Which weigh 300 pounds each. Herman picks them all up.
He's like, I could get them all.
Yeah. He's impressed that Herman could just lift it with his hands. And Herman probably had the job if when the guy told Herman to put it down, Herman didn't drop it through the floor.
He didn't just drop it. He just like boom, just threw his shit basically.
Yeah, the foreman is pissed.
Like,
it tells him to get out. I would have made him clean it up first.
Right? Who's going to clean that shit up now?
Yeah, now you got to get regular people to lift all of those individually.
Hey. Herman is a regular person. Thank you very much. He's more of a regular person than we are.
He's got the strength that neither of us can do together. So
there's lots of people out in the world that have that same strength.
That can lift a whole pallet of 300 pounds each.
Who knows, Tivis? The world is a very big
there's a
place.
very clear knowledge of this.
There's a very big world.
Personality wise, he's normal. Strength wise, frickin' Superman. So he then tries to be
Superman
an actor.
versus Herman. Oh, that would be perfect.
He then goes to be an actor. And it turns out he's playing a clown at a circus where people are throwing stuff to hit him in the face.
Yep. Yeah.
A guy comes up and throws it at him hard. It bounces back off the wall, destroying some stuff. So he throws another one, knocks out the guy running the Carney game.
Yeah.
Throws a third one and it knocks him out. Herman busts through the wall and is like, ooh, I should probably check on these guys.
Yeah, he just takes a bunch of random jobs, and then we go back to
the house.
The house where they're trying to find him
on
the ball.
Crystal ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you reacting to my voice?
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that.
I gotta have fun, man. I lost my place
shit.
now.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he keeps. Grandpa's like, look, I keep picking up reruns of Molly Goldberg from Tel Aviv. Are you familiar with Molly Goldberg?
No.
Neither am I. I didn't look it up. I meant to. I forgot. He finally finds Herman. He's at the Foreign Legion Recruitment Center. Grandpa says he will get him with his super heterodyne transistorized divining rod, which the divining rod is back. Did not expect to see that either.
The
wow.
divining rod.
It's from when, if no one remembers, it's from when they were looking for the Martians. That turned out to be children playing.
Which didn't it find...
Bunch of water first.
Yeah, just a bunch of water.
Yeah, if you remember, they found a sewer grate. They opened it up and someone splashed Herman with water from the sewer. Ugh.
Was it Uncle Gilbert?
I don't know. But Grandpa does have a friend down there.
Yeah.
Because when he went missing, they opened it up and someone spoke to him because they were looking for him. There's a lot of weird people in this town. So she asked if Grandpa set the divining rod to the Foreign Legion, and he goes, "No, I set it to Knothead."
Oh, Tivis.
Then we got a what?
Nothing.
We got a quick shot of the breakfast table where Eddie asks where his mom and grandpa are. You know, they've been missing for 2 days. And Marilyn's like, look, they'll be back soon. They're fine. Shut up, eat your breakfast, kid. She is not happy to be playing babysitter.
No, she's not.
Herman's about to get executed by the firing squad for desertion.
Yeah, this scene is pretty funny. He becomes a traitor. It wasn't a desertion necessarily as much as I guess they considered desertion. He didn't want to fire. He had lack of firing, defense, and he just wouldn't do what he was told, basically. Yeah. And he wouldn't kill anybody. So they marked him as a traitor. So yeah, he's put in front of a firing squad.
And when they go to blind him, the guy can't reach Herman's head, so Herman nicely bends down for him.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to
Final
smoke?" Which at that time, I still think, and it's French, they fucked up. Sorry, because they would have said the other term for cigarette at that point in time.
Yeah,
especially French,
which is derogatory here in America, but
yeah. Except if you say I want to smoke and then it gets really weird.
Yeah, there's some terms that get kind of eluded when you take them from overseas to here, but also when you go from here overseas. So Lily like rushes in to stop them by throwing herself in front of Herman.
Yeah. Yeah, and she just like runs in through, and when they did this shot of her like running down through there, I was like, oh, it's a Star Trek set, because it looked like a Star Trek set that she was running on.
It very well could be.
It most likely was at that time.
Grandpa comes up with his divining rod and starts like sword fighting the people with guns.
Yeah.
And the director yells, "Cut! They ruined his movie."
Not the shot, the movie, because remember, this is film. It costs money to waste film. They didn't get like 500 takes. Like, you wouldn't have Jackie Chan's outtake stuff everywhere.
Yeah, the bloopers from Rush Hour.
Be like, nope, you're fired, my man. Sorry. We can't waste $1 million worth of film on you.
So they promptly fire Herman, and Lily tells him the good news that they don't owe any money. Then they try to leave, and Herman's like, "I want to finish my cigarette." So she grabs him.
Got a few good puffs left on it, is the way he says.
Yeah. So she just grabs him and yanks him, and he's like waving to the production crew as he leaves. And it's kind of like during the fade outs, it's hard to see, but it's a nice little touch because, Herman's just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Now we're back at home. They finally fully explain to him what happened, because you always have to wait till you're in the next location, even though you travel for hours.
But did they though? Like, where was he?
That's a good question. Who knows?
Because they live in California, so they could just been on a set in Hollywood.
Could have been, yeah.
So that's what I thought it was, because I didn't think they were actually like overseas or anything like that. But you think Herman, like, I don't know. The set would have been a little bit more. The set would have been a little bit more closed for them to run onto it like that. But yeah.
Well, they may have scared away all the security people.
Yeah. Or they flew in as bats. Could
be. They are Draculas. I love the fact that I could say that and it makes sense in this context, and I'm just doing it to annoy people. But Herman's like, why did they think I was disfigured? And Lily's like, this is why I tell you to always shave before you leave the house. Like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Eddie asked how many jobs he had while he was on the run. So he lists the ones we saw, as well as a night watchman at the county morgue. Grandpa asks if they saw anyone that they knew. And Herman goes, I wasn't around long enough. Every time I took a nap, they put me in the icebox. Marilyn's just happy he's home. Lily shows him a gift to celebrate him coming home and promote family unity. It's the crossing light that Herman destroyed. Herman asks how this will help the family. She wants to put it outside. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on. You can say it.
She wants to put it outside the bathroom because it's practically a necessity.
In a house with only one bathroom.
Yeah. With as large as that house is, they should have two.
Yeah, at least like a bathroom and then like a quarter bath or whatever, just with the toilet in it.
Yeah.
At least one of those. Most of those houses did have that, like the toilet in a different room.
Yeah. But
or another toilet, I mean.
Herman and Lily laugh and we fade out to the outro.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Wait, did you ever see the scene you had a problem with?
Yeah, it was the other scene where Grandpa's holding the bag of stuff right before he goes down to the dungeon and the lawyer's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seemed like that was shot separately as well, too. Like, you know, Al came on another day and shot all of his stuff separately. I know, man. It's Fred, Al, and it's funny too because I've written 2 articles about Al in the last week or 2. So you think I just have
are very good, and you should check out on our website, by the way.
They're not good. They're just informative.
I think they're good.
I'm trying to write articles like most article sites do, so it's just slog. Just like, check this out.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying what you thought about the episode.
For the episode, I enjoyed it, man. It was I like the first one we watched better than this one, but this did have its moments. Like the grandpa stuff does seem weird in this episode to me.
He was up to something, dude. There was something he had going on in the background.
Yeah. And I would love to know what that is. So, like I said, Mr. Roebuck, go through and do like all the in-between episodes stuff from Al Lewis days. And I would love to do that with him. If I could get like a budget to do like a bunch of fan films for that, that'd be awesome.
Oh, I'm sure he would love to do it too.
Oh yeah, that definitely. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode, man. It was fun. Yeah. I like the twist because you think that Herman's actually going to get shot on a firing squad. Like I did not see that twist coming of it being either. A film set.
He was literally going to get executed by the firing squad.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to see that. Although the director didn't call a cut until like Grandpa showed up. So
like we can make this work.
We'll just shoot them all. Shoot them all.
I like the fact that he could be so nice that he's against violence now after he was, because remember when he was in the military, he was a plane spotter, not actually on the front line.
Mm-hmm.
So, or no, wait, that was Lily's job, wasn't it?
That was Lily.
Yeah. Never mind. Scratch that. I like this one too. I agree with you. The first one is definitely a lot more entertaining, but both of these together is a good watch. Like,
yeah,
this is another, like, this show is ending on such a good note because we've had, I believe, the last 3 weeks in a row, it's just been 2 good episodes paired together repeatedly.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get to see a little bit more, I don't want to say more acting from some of the characters, but you do get more from the actors.
I felt like we got a lot more from Marilyn, specifically these 2 episodes.
These 2 episodes?
Yeah.
I thought last week,
especially
we had
with
more
the hiccup
Marilyn.
one, because she was involved a lot with that. And normally she's just in the background or leaves partway through.
Was she, though, involved in the hiccup one?
Oh, she was complaining pretty much loudly.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had a few good ones with Marilyn over these last 10 episodes or so.
As we transition into Munsters today, once we get through the movies and other stuff we're going to do in between, but I hope Marilyn gets more to do in that show. Because
I'm looking forward to seeing how she progresses in the movies too, because only 2 of these movies take place with this cast.
Yes.
Only one of these movies takes place with
this actress.
None. No, none of the movies take place.
I thought she was in the first
Priest.
one at least.
Nope. They recast Pat Priest, said she was too old, so they recast her, which is stupid because the movie came out the same year the show ended. Anyways, but the first movie replaces Marilyn, so even if they do more with Marilyn in that film, I haven't seen it. I'll be honest, I have not seen those movies.
I watched the trailer for it, but
and so you have Marilyn in there. I think it's Debbie Watson plays Marilyn in that film.
You want me to look it up?
And then you have Butch Patrick reprises his role. But then the second film with this cast, Butch Patrick is even replaced because he was too old. It was the 70s by then, sometime mid 70s, I want to say. So I feel that
whatever
the films
happened
are
to
gonna
Eddie.
Right. I feel the films are probably focused more on, Grandpa and gosh, fucking hell. Today is not my day with names. Grandpa and Herman.
Welcome to my everyday.
And Lily, most likely. So yeah, I'm really interested to see the films as we progress into that. Like we said, we have one more episode, guys. The season finale of the Munsters. And Tivis, do you want to say the name of that right now?
Well, do you want me to do the trivia first?
Oh yeah, do the trivia.
The car that hits Herman is a Triumph Spitfire for anyone who is into cars.
Spitfire.
There is actually a Transylvania county in North Carolina where a bi-weekly paper, the Transylvania Times, has been published since 1931. And Mockingbird Heights is misspelled on Herman's license. It's missing the E.
Okay. Well, also to remember, Transylvania University is in Kentucky. I drove by it.
Yes, you did.
I don't know if I got pictures of their sign, but yeah. Is that it for trivia?
Yep.
Awesome, man.
And the finale next week is Visit from the Teacher.
A Visit from the Teacher. So that's the finale for the original series, guys, that we'll be talking about next week. As long as nothing gets discombobulated in our lives this week as it had.
Yeah. Shout out to Myke here. He has had one hell of a week and he managed to make it and get this out to all of you. And just shout out to him in general, the fucking website, all the extra stuff we got going on. Like, this show is created by him. So he deserves all the praise.
And all the hate. Oh shit. Yeah, no, and a shout out to Tivis too, because he does a lot of the trivia and shit like that, the research stuff that
Which
you
is not a
guys
lot.
get from us. No, but it's something, man. It helps make the show a little bit more than just us talking about, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened, and this was what happened. And it's been fun, man. It's been fun. We are finishing up next week, and we'll talk more next week about our feelings of the entire show and everything. And you guys, the fans who've been with us since the beginning of these.
If you want to be part of the show, send us your thoughts on the original show in general as a whole.
Yeah.
We're going to have time because we're only talking about one episode. So
yeah,
we'll share it.
Message or hit that microphone button on TheMunsterCast.com and leave us a voicemail on there. You literally don't have to do anything but like talk into your phone mic and just say something to us, and let us know your thoughts on this. Like Tivis said, the original series, and if it's in on time, I'll put it into the finale episode that we're gonna do next week, guys. Again, it's not the finale of the podcast, but it's the finale episode of season 2 for the Munsters,
the original
show.
Munsters.
We are going to do a season 2 finale for the podcast, if that makes sense. Where we're gonna have.
I told you to drop that terminology.
I'm not gonna drop it.
You're gonna confuse people.
Well, the podcast, we're gonna do the finale here next week, and then the following week we're going to do of the original show.
This is why it's confusing.
And then we're going to do an episode after that, which will be another finale for the podcast season 2. Because Tivis doesn't like me naming these as season 2s, but it's going to be a lot easier for when I break shit down for me to go back and find this stuff easier.
That could be internal, though.
No, because it's breaking down on iTunes for everybody, too.
All right, I guess.
It separates it into seasons.
If any listener out there is confused by this, know that I completely understand.
But we're going to be doing an episode there. We're going to have another guest on. I think Austin Mosier is signed up to be a guest on that episode with us, where we'll talk about the mini Munsters, the animated short animated thing from the 70s that they did. We were going to save that to do with the movies, but I figured it would be the best way to close up all of this, because Al Lewis does reprise his role as Grandpa in there as well. So anything else, Tivis?
Nothing from me.
Nothing from you. All right.
Just general thank you to everyone listening.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And with that said, don't forget to email us at TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. Find us on all social medias at TheMunsterCast, and check out TheMunsterCast. Check out TheMunsterCast.com. Email us at TheMunsterCast.
You forgot your own website.
Email us at TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. There we go. This is, oh boy. With that said, guys, thank you very much. And we will catch you next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly